Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be exploring Bald and Bonkers Network.
Ah, yes. Bald and Bonkers.
They're a company that's not afraid to embrace the strange and help others share their stories.
It seems like a pretty interesting company.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot to unpack here today.
Oh, yeah.
We've got some stuff from their website,
Yeah.
some policy documents. We've got even a glimpse into their academy, and
Oh, yeah.
I think what I'm really curious about is their founder, Dakota Franson.
Yeah, he's quite a character, it seems.
He calls himself a specialist of the strange.
Very fitting. Very fitting.
And he's got this background that kind of spans everything.
Oh, really?
He's done film, music, comics, video games.
It's like he was destined to create this company.
Yeah, it's like all of these interests collided and boom, Bald and Bonkers Network was born.
And on April Fool's Day, no less.
On April Fool's Day, 2022 to be exact.
Oh, perfect.
So they're playful and unconventional.
Definitely.
But beyond that, they seem to be pretty serious about helping people tell their stories. And not just paranormal ones anymore.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, their website really emphasizes this idea of diverse storytelling.
Whatever your story is, we want to hear it.
Exactly. And they're not just providing a platform, they're actually giving people, creators, tools to succeed.
Like courses and things like that?
Yeah, they've got this thing called the Bald and Bonkers Network Academy.
That's a great idea.
They've got courses on content creation, business strategy.
Wow.
They've even got courses on paranormal investigation, which ties back into their roots. It's like
Okay.
they're creating a whole community
Right.
of storytellers and equipping them with the skills to not only share their stories, but also potentially build a living from it.
Kind of like an alternative path to traditional media.
Yeah, and they're not stopping there.
No.
They've got these pretty ambitious streaming platforms in development.
Oh.
Yeah, one's called Bonkers TV Plus, and the other's called Bonkers Broadcasting Network.
Those are quite the names.
So I was looking at their policy documents, and they talk about original content, syndication opportunities, interactive features,
They're really trying to create a unique streaming experience.
one that goes beyond just passively watching. So they're really thinking about audience engagement and how to make it a more interactive experience.
They even mentioned pushing the boundaries of storytelling.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's going to look
Oh,
like.
no. And we can't forget AI.
Oh, of course, AI.
They seem to be incorporating that into their content creation as well.
So not just behind the scenes.
Not just behind the scenes. So they're using it for things like finances, generating text, images, even composing music and creating videos.
Wow, that's a lot.
And what I think is really interesting is that they're very transparent about it.
A lot of companies aren't.
Yeah, a lot of companies are keeping it under wraps. But Dakota, their founder, he's a strong advocate for ethical AI use.
That's good to hear.
And he's not just advocating, they're actually creating courses
Well,
that are specifically designed to teach people about AI.
they're really embracing it.
Don't be afraid of AI, learn about it, use it responsibly. So, they've got this community that is very diverse and, well, bonkers.
Bonkers.
You have to wonder how they handle conflicts.
Yeah, how do you manage all those different personalities?
Right, and potentially disruptive behavior.
That's a tough one.
So they've got this thing called the blacklist,
Okay.
and it's a confidential list that's maintained by a third party.
Interesting.
And it's meant to monitor individuals who are exhibiting certain behaviors.
So it's about ensuring a safe and positive environment
Exactly.
for everyone.
For everyone in the network.
That makes sense.
It's meant to be protective, not punitive.
Okay.
So they want to create the space where people feel comfortable sharing their stories
Mhm.
without fear of harassment or negativity.
That's a really important thing to do.
But how do they determine what a concerning behavior is?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, what happens to somebody who ends up on the blacklist?
What are the criteria?
Is there any way to redeem yourself?
And like, how do you get off of it?
Well, the policy document doesn't really go into specifics about the behaviors that would warrant placement on this list. However, they do mention that there is a possibility for forgiveness
Oh, okay.
and removal
That's good.
from the blacklist for individuals who demonstrate genuine change and a commitment to improvement.
It's a second chance.
It is a second chance. So they're trying to find this balance between accountability and fostering a culture of growth and understanding.
Yeah, that's a hard balance to strike.
It is. And on top of all of this, they're navigating this political landscape,
Which should be tricky.
which can be a minefield for any company these days.
Especially these days.
But their policy document explicitly states that Bald and Bonkers Network maintains a neutral stance on political matters.
Okay.
They believe in inclusivity and welcome people from all political backgrounds.
So no matter your political affiliation, you're welcome.
Exactly. And they really emphasize freedom of expression, ethical practices, and open dialogue.
They're trying to foster a community that transcends political divides.
Which is certainly ambitious.
It is.
Especially in today's world, but it aligns with their whole mission of embracing diverse voices and perspectives.
It would make sense to alienate a large segment of their audience based on their political beliefs.
It makes me wonder how they navigate potentially sensitive topics.
Yeah, how do you stay neutral when things get heated?
Right, while maintaining this commitment to neutrality.
It's a delicate balance.
It is.
It really is.
So, all of this sounds incredibly ambitious, but I'm curious about the structure of the company itself.
Yeah, how are they managing all of this?
Right. How are they managing all of these initiatives with what seems like a pretty lean team?
That's what I'm wondering, too.
Well, according to their Foundation for Future Growth section, Dakota is currently the only full-time executive.
Oh, wow. So they're really lean.
So they're relying heavily on outsourced teams for things like legal and HR.
Makes sense.
But they emphasize that their policies and procedures are designed to be scalable, allowing them to expand their team and operations smoothly as they grow.
They're thinking ahead.
It's remarkable how much they've accomplished with such a small core team.
It really is.
It speaks to their resourcefulness and adaptability.
They are classic startups, starting small, staying agile, building a solid foundation.
Yeah. What stands out to you the most so far?
I'm fascinated by their image, the bonkers image. But they have this well-thought-out approach to building a sustainable and inclusive network.
There's a depth to their approach that goes beyond just embracing the strange.
It's like they're using that bonkers energy to fuel something much bigger.
I wonder how they'll maintain that balance as they continue to grow.
I think it's time we take a closer look at their content creation process.
Okay.
And how they're integrating AI into their workflow.
Let's do it. It's amazing how they manage to balance this image, this bonkers image, with this very structured approach to business.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, actually.
They're like, we can be playful, but we're also professionals.
Exactly.
And that seems to be reflected in their content creation process, too.
Yeah.
They're using cutting-edge technology like AI.
Okay.
But they also emphasize, the importance of human storytelling.
So they're not just letting the machines do everything.
Right.
They're still using their own creativity.
Right. And I'm curious to hear more about how they're actually using AI in their workflow. Is it just for generating text and music, or are they going even further?
They're definitely pushing the boundaries.
Okay.
Their policy document mentions using AI for video editing.
Oh, wow.
Creating special effects and even generating entire scripts.
Wow. So they're really using it for a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I wonder how they ensure that the content still feels authentic and human with all this AI involvement.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's where their focus on human storytelling comes in.
Okay.
They view AI as a tool to enhance creativity.
So it's not about replacing human creativity.
Oh, no, not at all.
It's about augmenting it, making it better.
Exactly. And it's a collaboration.
Okay.
It's like they're collaborating with AI, using it to streamline certain tasks, but they still rely on human writers, directors, editors.
To shape the overall narrative.
Right.
And this collaboration extends to their community.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So they're encouraging their creators to experiment with AI as well.
Don't be afraid of AI. Learn about it. Use it.
Right. It's a very forward-thinking approach.
Yeah.
Instead of fearing AI, they're embracing it.
They're using it to empower people.
Exactly.
It aligns with their whole philosophy of challenging the status quo and exploring new possibilities.
They're not just creating content.
No.
You're creating a culture of experimentation and learning.
I like that.
It's like they're building a bridge
Okay.
between the world of technology and the art of storytelling.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, showing that these two seemingly disparate realms can actually complement each other.
I agree.
And that bridge building extends to their efforts to bridge political divides as well.
Right, right. We talked about that a bit earlier.
Yeah, we touched on their commitment to political neutrality. But I think it's worth exploring further.
I think so, too.
It's a bold move, especially in today's polarized climate.
How do they actually maintain that neutrality in practice?
Yeah, how do you actually do that?
That's the question.
Yeah. Well, their policy document mentions a strict vetting process for all content to ensure that it doesn't promote any particular political agenda.
So they're really screening everything.
They are. They also have a team of moderators who monitor discussions and forums to prevent political debates from derailing the conversations.
So no arguing about politics.
Right. They want to keep it focused.
They're trying to create a space where people can engage with each other without, getting bogged down in political arguments.
They want to foster a community where people can connect through shared interests, regardless of their political beliefs.
It makes sense.
It does, especially considering their focus on diverse storytelling.
Right. If you want a wide range of perspectives, you can't limit yourself to just one side of the political spectrum.
It's about creating a space for dialogue and understanding.
Yeah, not for pushing any particular ideology.
Right. It's refreshing to see a company actively working to create a more inclusive
and less divisive online environment.
It's a challenge for sure.
It is a challenge.
But they seem to be taking it seriously.
Yeah, they're not just paying lip service to neutrality.
Right.
They're actually putting in the effort to make it a reality.
And that commitment to building a positive and supportive community extends to their business model as well.
It really does.
It's remarkable how they're able to operate with such a lean structure and still offer so much to their creators.
It's a testament to their entrepreneurial spirit and their focus on sustainable growth.
They're not trying to be, a huge corporation overnight. They're taking their time and prioritizing quality.
And their reliance on outsourced teams allows them to stay agile and adaptable.
Which is so important.
Which is crucial in the ever-changing world of digital media.
Especially these days, things change so fast.
And their experimentation isn't limited to just their business model.
They're also pushing the boundaries with their streaming platforms.
Bonkers TV Plus.
Bonkers TV Plus.
And Bonkers Broadcasting Network.
What are your thoughts on their approach to streaming?
Well, they're definitely not following the traditional streaming playbook.
Yeah, it's different.
They're creating a really unique experience that blends original content, syndication opportunities, and interactive features.
It's almost like they're building a hybrid platform that combines elements of Netflix, YouTube, Twitch.
Like they took the best parts of all those platforms.
And mashed them together.
Exactly.
It's like a Frankenstein of streaming platforms.
It's like beautiful Frankenstein.
And that novelty extends to their content strategy as well. So they're not just chasing the latest trends. They're not trying to replicate what's already working for other companies.
They're carving out their own niche.
They are.
By focusing on that unconventional, thought-provoking,
and often downright bonkers content.
Bonkers, yes.
That you wouldn't find anywhere else.
Exactly.
It's like they're creating a haven for stories that might not fit neatly into predefined categories.
Right. The stories that don't belong anywhere else.
And they're attracting a very dedicated audience.
People who are looking for something different.
Yes.
Something that challenges them.
In a world saturated with content, differentiation is key.
Absolutely.
And Bald and Bonkers is definitely standing out from the crowd.
They're embracing their bonkersness.
Yes, they are.
And their brand isn't just about being weird or quirky. It's about being bold, innovative, and unafraid to push the boundaries.
It's about celebrating individuality, embracing creativity, and using technology to amplify human stories.
They're creating a space where being bonkers is not just accepted, it's celebrated.
It's a powerful message in a world that often tries to force us into conformity.
I agree.
So, as we delve deeper into the world of Bald and Bonkers, it becomes clear that they're much more than just a company that embraces the strange.
They're a community.
They're a community.
A movement. A force for positive change.
And a force for positive change in the digital landscape.
Exactly.
They're a reminder that innovation can come from the most unexpected places.
You never know where the next big idea is going to come from.
And that sometimes the most unconventional ideas are the ones that have the greatest potential to transform the world.
Absolutely.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to touch on one final aspect of Bald and Bonkers Network that I find particularly intriguing.
What's that?
Their commitment to ethical consideration.
Yes, that's an important one.
It is a crucial aspect.
Especially given their use of AI and their focus on building a safe and inclusive community.
They're not just concerned with growth and innovation, they're also thinking about the impact of their actions on individuals and society as a whole.
They're thinking about the bigger picture.
And that ethical awareness is evident in everything they do.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
From data privacy and content moderation to their use of AI and their handling of the blacklist.
They're not shying away from the tough stuff.
They're not. They're actively working to address these challenges.
They seem to understand that with great power comes great responsibility.
It's refreshing to see a company that's not just focused on the bottom line, but also on making a positive impact on the world.
It's like they actually care.
They do.
About making the world a better place.
They do. So what does all this mean for you, the listener?
Yeah, why should people care about Bald and Bonkers Network?
Well, I think their story is inspiring on multiple levels.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, they're showing that it's possible to build a successful company that's also ethical, inclusive, and committed to making a positive impact.
And their focus on diverse storytelling and unconventional content. It's a breath of fresh air.
It is. It is.
In a media landscape that can often feel,
homogenous.
Homogenous, predictable,
Yeah, they're proving that there's an audience for stories that don't fit neatly into predefined categories.
The stories that challenge our assumptions, broaden our perspectives.
Exactly. And their embrace of technology, particularly AI, is
pretty innovative.
It's innovative and inspiring.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to experiment and push the boundaries of what's possible.
Right.
But they're doing so with a mindful and ethical approach.
It's like they're saying technology can be a powerful tool for good, but it's up to us to use it responsibly.
Exactly. And their commitment to building a safe and inclusive community is something that we should all strive for.
Yeah, definitely.
Both online and offline.
Absolutely.
They're showing that it's possible to create a space where people from all backgrounds and beliefs can come together and connect.
Through shared interests.
Through shared interests and experiences.
Right.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Bald and Bonkers Network, I'm left with a sense of optimism and excitement.
Me too.
Optimism because they're proving that it's possible to do business differently, to prioritize ethics and inclusivity.
Without sacrificing creativity and innovation.
And excitement because I can't wait to see what they do next.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I know. What could they possibly come up with?
I don't know, but I'm ready for it.
With their ambitious plans for streaming, their ongoing exploration of AI, and their unwavering commitment to their community, I have a feeling this is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning of the Bald and Bonkers story.
Who knows? Maybe your story will become a part of it.
Yeah, maybe our listeners will be a part of their story.
They've shown us that everyone has a story to tell.
Yeah.
No matter how strange or unconventional it may seem.
So embrace your inner bonk.
Your inner bonk.
And don't be afraid to share your unique perspective with the world.
Because in a world that's, increasingly striving for conformity, it's those bonkers voices that often have the most important things to say.
That's a great point to end on.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Into the world of Bald and Bonkers Network.
Until next time.
We'll see you next time.